Good morning, my little nerds. I am Dr. Shereene Idriss, a board-certified dermatologist based in New York City, and welcome to my YouTube channel, where every Saturday morning we cover a different topic of the week, whether it is about skincare ingredients, product roundups, do's or don'ts, cosmetic procedures in office. We do it all over here at Pillow Talk Derm, and today's video is going to include a little bit of everything. So before I jump in, do not forget to comment, subscribe, and like the video below, because it is the subscribers who I answer to first, and those are the ones whose requests I actually convert into the format of a video. So without further ado, today, my friends, we are going to cover a part of our body that I've actually never covered on YouTube, and that is the neck. Because the face, neck, and chest, I honestly consider a cosmetic unit. And one of my biggest pet peeves as a cosmetic dermatologist is when I have a patient come in who's clearly devoted her life or his life to treating just his or her face, but has completely neglected anything below. And it looks like the face is superimposed on the rest of the body. The neck is a very important part of your body that should not be overlooked. When you are applying your skincare, we need to be extending down. If you can't afford to go down to your chest, at least go down to your neck. Now, why is the neck so important and so hard to address? Because the density of collagen on your neck is different than the density of collagen in your face. It's much thinner and it breaks down earlier, and therefore signs of aging tend to appear on the neck much more so than on the face. And in recent years, with the advent of social media and people using their cell phones and everyone kind of being in bed doing this, and I am definitely guilty of that, we have seen the rise of tech neck. But I do want to point out, I have always had these horizontal lines, and I remember very vividly when I was 12 years old, yes, 12 years old, I ran inside to the bathroom and noticed I had these lines on my neck, thinking it was mud because I was playing outside in the garden that for some reason got stuck in my neck. And so I tried to rub it off and they never rubbed off. And at the time, there were no cell phones. Aging myself, but we did not have cell phones that we were playing with throughout the day, and so tech neck was really not a thing. And I was only 12 years old. But that's not to say that tech neck doesn't exist today. So when you are thinking about over-the-counter ingredients that you can use to actually try and help yourself, the biggest one that comes to mind, the one with the most tried and true history, is retinols. Yes, retinols, vitamin A derivatives, are the most important ingredients when it comes to promoting collagen production and creating a thickening of your skin. However, the neck is very different than the face, and it is very difficult to tolerate a retinol on your neck because the retinols can be irritating, inflammatory, it can cause a lot of redness, it can cause a lot of itching, and it can be really poorly tolerated on the neck. Retinols, by the way, are probably one of the 4 to 5 ingredients that I really think you do need to know the percentage of, because this is where you as a consumer need to gauge how much you can actually tolerate, especially when it comes to your neck. So because the neck is so sensitive, I would not recommend going for a wrong and strong approach where you use a retinol over the counter at 0.5 or 1.0 or even a prescription on your neck, especially if you're a novice. You want to stick to anything that is 0.3 or less when it comes to over-the-counter forms of pure retinol. L'Oreal has their 0.3%. Retinol serum that I've talked about, SkinCeuticals has a 0.3%. Brands that do not disclose the percentage of retinols actually bother me because I really think that you as a consumer need to know what you're using so that you can gauge how much you can tolerate and whether or not you can go up on it. Now, there is one L'Oreal product that does not disclose the actual percentage of retinol in it, and it bothers me that they don't disclose it. But a while back, I had emailed the company, and if I recall correctly, the L'Oreal Revitalift Pressed Night Cream has approximately 0.2% retinol. So it's less than the one in the serum dropper. So this is one that I would say you want to try as a starting point if you are somebody who is interested in introducing a retinol on your neck. It comes with niacinamide, so that helps with barrier repair, and it comes in a pressed jar format, which I love. So definitely I have tried it on my neck and it does not irritate my neck. So this is one that has the green light from me if you want to try incorporating a retinol on your neck. Next category of ingredients that also help support collagen production, especially if you cannot tolerate retinols on your neck: peptides. Peptides, and Necessaire has been kind enough to sponsor this portion of this video, and I have agreed to them because I am drawn to their product called the Neck Serum. It's actually very appropriately called. I think it's interesting that they are drawing attention to this part of the body that has so often been overlooked. And this particular product retails for $60. It is a combination of various peptides. And I want to quickly go into these different peptides with you guys because I do find the science and the ideation behind this product very interesting. Number one, it has argireline, also known as quote unquote Botox in a jar. Now, whenever I see anything Botox in a jar, I personally, I don't like those kind of claims because nothing is actually going to be Botox. It's never going to be Botox in a jar because it's never going to be as good as Botox. But this particular peptide is an interesting one because scientifically, and I always butcher how I say it, argireline blocks the way the muscles interact with the nerves to contract. And so you get less wrinkling over time because of this particular peptide. And that's why people call it Botox in a jar, because it stimulates how Botox actually works on a scientific level with regards to the mechanism of action. So does it reduce wrinkles as well as Botox? Absolutely not, but it does help to visibly smooth wrinkles. That is for sure. That peptide, however, is not a collagen builder. So the second peptide that's included is palmitoyl tripeptide 1, which is a part of a very, very famous peptide, also known as Matrixyl 3000, which happens to be the most sold peptide complex in the world. Now, what exactly then is palmitoyl tripeptide 1 if it is part of the larger complex? It is a 3 small amino acid chain that basically is made up of glycine, histidine, and lysine, also known as GHK. GHK is part of type 1 collagen. So by applying a piece of type 1 collagen onto your skin, it's going to trick your skin into thinking that the collagen has been broken down, and that's going to cause your skin to want to promote and make more collagen. So it's almost as if you had a wound and you're applying this tiny peptide onto your skin and making your skin think it has a wound so it can secrete new collagen. So this peptide, unlike argireline, I can never say argireline, helps with collagen production over time. Now the third peptide in this serum is palmitoyl tripeptide 5. This one helps with firmness and elasticity, and apparently, according to one of the studies that was made by the manufacturer, it helps in the reduction with the look of pores. Interesting, because pores never are going to disappear, but you can definitely reduce the look of them, but you're never really going to shrink them. Number 4 is palmitoyl tetrapeptide 7, which is a very interesting peptide as well, because this one blocks interleukin 6, also known as IL-6, which promotes inflammation. So tetrapeptide 7 is an anti-inflammatory peptide, and that is super important when you're talking about the aging process because inflammation is the leading cause of collagen breakdown and aging. And last, palmitoyl hexapeptide 12, which apparently helps to improve firmness and skin tone. So overall, it's a very interesting product. It has 5 different peptides for $60. It's a very well reasonably priced serum for the neck, which will not necessarily break your bank. So using code Shereene10, you can actually get 10% off on this neck serum or any other Necessaire product on their website. But it is very lightweight and heavenly. If, however, you're looking for something that combines peptides with growth factors, and this one is a pricey product, do not get me wrong, I know this is a pricey product. Skin Medica has their TNS Advanced Plus Serum. You see tester here because we actually have this in my office, so I brought it from my practice. It's an interesting product despite how expensive it is. Because again, if you cannot tolerate retinols on your neck, you're gonna wanna try to look for other things. Now, growth factors and peptides are very different, and this particular product contains both of them. So for $295, it's steep, but it has a little bit of both. It is made up of 2 chambers, so when you open this guy, you're gonna see that it has 2 different openings because inside you're gonna have 2 different chambers. In chamber 1, it's their TNS-MR chamber, which contains human fibroblast condition media, and this is their patented growth factor formulation that helps to stimulate cell growth, proliferation, skin healing, etc., to help with fine lines, wrinkles, tone, and texture. It also has 2 peptides in this first chamber. It has progeline, which blocks progerin. And I am butchering how I say these. Please, I've never said things correctly, so do not judge me on that. But progeline blocks progerin, and that basically is what contributes to the signs of aging and skin aging. Progerin does. So by blocking it, you're allowing your skin to age slower. It also has Prolixer 20, which targets the ubiquitin proteasome pathway to decrease protein damage so you age better. Now in the second chamber, it is known as the Renaissance Advanced Chamber, and this one has botanical extracts as well as marine extracts, chlorella, which is a green microalgae, and saccharide isomerate, which is plant-derived. Now, the plant-derived holds on to water. The marine one helps to stimulate collagen and by inhibiting collagen breakdown. And it also has hydrolyzed linseed extract, which stimulates epidermal thickening. So the combination of these two chambers in this one product is really like two products in one. So although it retails for $295, you might almost want to think of it as two separate products for $150 each. It doesn't make it cheaper. Trust me, I know it's very expensive, but again, this is one that patients come into my practice requesting, and that is why I have it, because the reviews from the patients have been stellar and people love this. They usually use it on their face, but I tell patients try it first on your neck to see if you really see the difference, because you're going to notice a difference hopefully faster on thinner skin. So try it on your neck. Number 4, and this is absolutely not a product for the neck. This is one that I discovered when I went to the UK and I fell in love with it. It is Cetraben. It is very cheap, the complete opposite of Skin Medica. This one retails for $8. It is a UK drugstore find. It is an excellent emollient cream for eczematous skin. Yes, for eczematous skin. But what I noticed is because of its texture, which happens to be white soft paraffin and light liquid paraffin, this goes on so light and whipped that it doesn't feel heavy like Vaseline would feel. And what I've noticed is that it just gets absorbed so easily into the neck that you feel like it just gets stuck in. And if you ever have any kind of like crepey neck, or you feel like you're seeing your skin, this just basically acts like a temporary Spanx for the neck and really holds it all in. So although the Skin Medica and the Necessaire and the L'Oreal are all going to need time to make a difference, this is almost like a band-aid for your neck that gives you the illusion of firmer looking skin because it holds on to moisture. But it's not going to do anything for your skin in the long run, so do not be misled. So those are probably my top 4 products for neck. In office, there are various different treatments that you guys can do, and I'm going to quickly do a little show and tell with my face. So if you are somebody who speaks and you get a lot of bands, you can easily address those bands by Botoxing them. Yes, you can Botox the bands of your neck, and it definitely helps to soften and flatten them, minimizing their appearance overall as you speak. And depending on how you inject the Botox, you can even cause a little bit of a lift along the jawline. It definitely is something that I do to myself. I haven't done it in a while though. As you can see, I have the bands that can pop out. But it is something that definitely can help if you're somebody who has a lot of bands and who has a thinner neck. Now, number 2, I have a lot of patients who hate these horizontal lines. And although I try to tell them it is very natural for you to have these horizontal lines, they still want to try to address them. So how can you minimize the depth of these lines? You can minimize the depth by either injecting biostimulatory injectables like Hyperdilute Radiesse, Sculptra, although Sculptra is a little trickier because it's very thin and there have been reports of clumping, or taking your blood, spinning it, and getting platelet-rich plasma, also known as PRP, and injecting them into the neck to see if it can stimulate your own collagen production. Now, when you do this in conjunction with other types of heat-based devices like Althera, which uses ultrasound energy heat, or Morpheus, which is microneedling with radio frequency heat, I actually think you're going to get a better longer term result because you're focusing on tightening the skin as well as stimulating collagen production through the mechanism of the microneedling, the radio frequency, or the ultrasound energy. So that in conjunction with the injectable is probably the best bet in trying to address tech neck and trying to firm up the skin of your neck and to tighten the skin of your neck. So with all of that, I hope you guys learned a couple of things today. The face, neck, and chest are a cosmetic unit. If you are a baby fetus watching this video, make sure to extend the creams that you put on your face onto your neck. The one you really have to be careful though is retinol because it can definitely irritate your neck. So go for something very low and make sure that the concentration is actually low. And in order for in-office procedures to have long-lasting results, you guys make the biggest difference by sustaining those results with the skincare products and the care that you are taking care of yourself with in between treatments. I am Dr. Shereene Idriss. I hope you guys have a beautiful Saturday, and I will see you guys here next week. By the way, if you're still watching, sign up to pillowtalkderm.com because we have a very exciting announcement happening this week. See you guys then.